it is a plane with your friendly neighborhood NCU boarded on it. What's going on, nerds and bandits? It's Noel from the NCU channel, back at it again with another video. Before we get started, I want to tell all of the NCU members who have been rocking with me since day one something that they deserve to hear. Thank you. I know that recently I've been on a bit of a hiatus with how slow my uploads have been with my shorts and long form videos. In short, I am a college student majoring in media studies, and a lot of my assignments have been on field work such as writing scripts and shooting footage around my area. This, on top of switching jobs, has made it more difficult to focus on creating content for this channel. I hit 1,000 followers a few months ago, which was a great feeling, and I feel bad that I slowed down that momentum after that. For those who stay subscribed, like the videos that come out when they do, and share the videos I post, I truly want to send my thanks and love to you because even in my absence, you all stood by my side. Currently, I am on break, so I will be doing what I can to write and record as much as possible. Here are a few of the scripts that I am currently working on, and if you want, you can leave in the comments section which video you would like to see next, and I'll make sure to get to work on it. With all that being said, today's video will be very different from my usual content, as a lot of it is based on writing what-if stories as well as reviews, topics, and hot takes on wrestling, movies, anime, gaming, and comics. Periodically, I do travel, and I want to experiment with showing my travels as well as connecting it to one of those 5 topics I named. That's why this video, appropriately named I Understand Why Spider-Man is Broke, tells you all about what I did in New York and discusses some notable places that I experienced. This, as well as the Royal Rumble video, which I will be attending in February, will follow the same format, and if this type of content does well, then I'll do what I can to travel to more events and film my experiences. But before we get into the aspects of this trip, if you would like to contribute to the NCU and Spidey piggy bank so we can afford to keep doing what we do, then make sure you web sling that like button, subscribe to the NCU channel, and turn on post notifications so that you can stay up to date whenever I upload. Doing this shows me how much you enjoy the longer and higher quality videos that are produced. It also helps me reach more viewers who are interested in this type of content and lets me know what you all like to watch and talk about. If you're just passing by because this video interested you, then I appreciate you giving me some of your time and viewership today, and I hope that this video gets you to check out my other content. But if not, then I still appreciate you stopping by. And of course, you can always leave suggestions in the comments section below, and if the idea is really interesting, I'll be sure to make a video about it and shout you out for the idea. But with all of that out of the way, let's get into the real reason why you clicked on this video. Marvel Heroes, New York vlog, let's talk about it. So for those who don't know, Stan Lee, rest in peace, was born in Manhattan, New York, and because of this, a lot of characters in the Marvel universe have their stay there. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Being a villain in New York must be the most stressful job ever, because if you decide to steal from a gas station or even work under a bigger villain, you have the potential of running into the Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and many other superheroes that are or aren't a part of those teams. And I do understand that the bigger heroes are usually taking care of more world-threatening issues, but it doesn't mean that they will just straight up ignore the crime that you are committing. I don't know about you all, but I would hate to see Spider-Man coming my way, especially if he has the mindset to fight me like the version of him in the PlayStation games. Nevertheless, I did get to see Spider-Man while I was in New York, even if it was some guy on the corner just selling items to travelers. As my friends and I were flying in, I got to see the actual size of New York, and I always knew that it was big, but not as big as it really is. One of the biggest things that I discovered is that each area is vastly different from the other in terms of culture and personality. For example, we stayed in the Bronx, which had this very active but realistic vibe to it. There weren't the crazy lights and advertisements that Times Square has, but was more akin to being around the neighborhood that some of my family members grew up in. I saw a multitude of bodegas and people selling items on the street, from fruits and vegetables down to AirPods, and the community itself just seemed so connected. Some of the people we passed even knew that we were travelers and had no problem helping us navigate the area so that we wouldn't get lost. One of the best places that we went to was a secret ice cream speakeasy called Upper East Side, which has some fantastic drinks and desserts. They also were doing a scary movie night when we were there, so if you are ever visiting the Bronx area, give this place a try. One major thing that I can say is that some of the best food that I had on this trip came from the bodegas in the Bronx that we visited. The prices weren't even too crazy, and it seemed like someone's grandma or uncle was behind the counter putting so much love into them sandwiches. Like, I promise you, Get a deli or breakfast sandwich from any bodega and you will not look at any other restaurant sandwich the same. After that, we went back to our Airbnb and got some rest before venturing out to Times Square the next day. We were going to see the Broadway showing of Disney's other intellectual property, Aladdin, when we encountered the craziest part of Times Square, which is how bright it truly is. Mind you, the showing we went to was around 8 p.m. and when we got off the train, which was our primary way of traveling, we thought the sun was still out even at that time of night. There were advertisements galore with more street vendors, pop-up food stands, and just a completely different atmosphere than what we experienced in the Bronx. This seemed more corporate and high class based on the attire that everyone was wearing and the overall appearance of the area. And yes, Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z was playing throughout the streets. You couldn't escape Alicia Keys' vocals. Needless to say, if you haven't experienced a Broadway play, then I highly recommend coming to New York just for this. The Aladdin showing was phenomenal, and if I could go again, I truly would. From the stage set to the performance, special effects, everything was a 10 out of 10, and I hope they can bring this show to Chicago in its same form so I can go without traveling so far. Overall, my experience in Times Square was great and a major high point of this trip. This is also where I saw Spiderman walking around, though he wasn't stopping crime or delivering pizza, so I knew immediately that it wasn't Tobey Maguire. Anywho, we rested again and hit the train in the morning to check out Old Factory NYC in Manhattan, where we got to make our own fragrances. It was a very fun experience, with the workers there being very helpful and active, and I made a fragrance that was different than what I usually buy as well as unique to me. They also allow you to order it online after you create it. We then hit this restaurant that I can't remember the name of that has some amazing food for my friends, but criminally under-seasoned chicken for my order. Although the rest of the food and drinks were good, I still hit this chicken shack back in the Bronx to avenge my taste buds from the non-seasoning that I was assaulted with. You know, because the actual Avengers weren't there to save them. The next day, we decided to hit this small mall in Brooklyn where we didn't do much considering it was just a distraction by my homie and I's girlfriends who took us out to eat at Essex to celebrate Sweetest Day. Not gonna lie, this was sweet and a surprise considering the main reason we were out in New York was to celebrate my best friend's birthday. Also, we passed this place called Gotham Burger, which we didn't try, but I figured anything with the word Gotham in it had Batman lurking in the shadows. After much needed rest, we headed out to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and I'm gonna let you all know something ahead of time. Unless you have the speed of Quicksilver or stole the Time Stone from Doctor Strange, you will not explore this whole museum without being super tired. I don't even think we got through half of it, and that's due to the spectacle that the museum had as well as how vast the history was. If you're into history, art, or looking for a date idea, then try to carve out some time to visit this museum, with an emphasis on carving out some time. After leaving, we walked the streets, saw some cool stores and art along the way, and ended our final day by trying a New York pizza. Now, New Yorkers, I want you to drop in the comment section what the best pizza spots are in New York, because this one was good, but not better than any Chicago pizza that I've had. And I feel like after this video gets posted, I'm gonna walk outside and see the portals from Avengers Endgame open up with a bunch of New York residents in front of me, ready to jump me and shove pizza down my mouth. Nevertheless, we packed everything up once we got back, got some rest, arrived at the airport, and then headed back to Chicago. And that concluded our trip to New York. I truly enjoyed being out there as it was my friends and I's first time being in New York. And to make it even better, I only saw one massive splinter in the entire city, though it was taking an extended nap in a puddle. But going back to what the title of this video is, after my trip, I can truly understand why Peter Parker is always poor. Cause New York is so damn expensive. Like, oh my gosh, as much fun as I had, I swear to you, all of the food and things that I did that were not in the Bronx had a starting price tag of $20. It even got to the point where I bought some gifts to take back home and had to order a new bag, and the DoorDash delivery fee had a New York tax in addition to other fees. Like, Peter Parker, I need you to listen to me. New York has so many heroes in it that any villain can be stopped. If you really want to save your money, move out of New York. And I know that you live in Queens and we didn't visit that area, but sheesh, this was the most expensive trip that I took as an adult. If you really don't want to leave New York, then the least you can do is start selling some of your gadgets on the street. Like, Peter, you are a genius based on how they show you in the comics, games, and films. You could literally create some little small gadget that can help you make some extra cash on the side. Hell, you have connections to Tony Stark. Make some sort of headphones to give Apple or Sony a run for their money so you can live more comfortably. But maybe you don't need it. After all, Marvel Rivals just released and you might be getting royalties off of that considering you are a lot of people's mains. And if you all want to see me stream being the best support player I can be, then follow me on Twitch at NCU Plays. I'll try to be on as much as possible throughout the winter break. But outside of that, the trip was overall great, and the next time a convention is out there or even a WWE Fanatic event, I'll be sure to see more of New York. But that's about it for this video. Let me know what you think of this travel video as well as other places that you believe I should check out next time I am in New York. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the page, and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss any of my uploads. And if you're interested and have more time to spare, check out some of the other videos on the end screen. Thank you all so much for watching up until the end of this video, and I'll see you all on the next one.